Hi everybody, welcome to day 5. We've done it, we've made it. It is Friday. It is also day 5 of this wonderful Facebook challenge. So those who have been doing your homework, oh my goodness, I have just tagged you in another post to try and get you to make sure that you are coming into the group today, because in order for you to claim your prize, I need you to be on the call. Those who have done your homework, you have done an amazing job, and I just want to congratulate you because you've literally stepped your way to getting into your very own Facebook challenge in a really easy format. Like, put your hand up if you found this easy. It doesn't need to be complex and it doesn't need to be hard. And I think that was the big thing that I went through yesterday that was a big aha moment for a lot of people. Some people have been messaging me to give me feedback, and they were like, yeah, I have actually been overcomplicating things. So it's really nice to give yourself permission to just go, okay, it doesn't need to be complex, and I'm here and I'm going to deliver this information to these wonderful people who I really, really want to help. And you show up as your best self and allow that creativity to come through and allow them to know that you're the person that's there to help them out. And it's all beneficial for everybody. I love a win-win situation. So, again, no comments here. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm getting them on my computer. Say hi as you come on. I can see a few of you are here already, which is exciting. Beck's here and Sam's here. Hello, lovelies. And there's somebody else here as well. I just don't know who it is yet. So once they comment, I'll say hi to you as well. So day 5, how did you all go? How'd you find the homework? Do you feel like you've got more clarity? This is a big outcome that I want you guys to have. And if you don't have clarity right now, what is it that you think is sort of like clouding that vision or clouding the clarity? It's Courtney. Hey, Courtney. Good to see you. You guys have all been doing so well. And yeah, is that the right word? Would you say you have clarity as to what your next step is or how you would step in and deliver your information? Now, yesterday when I went through the structure of how you would do your actual Facebook challenge, how did that feel for you? Would you feel okay showing up every single day for 5 days and doing a Facebook Live? And if you haven't shown up live yet, how will you practice? Will you get on to maybe some Insta stories and start talking on Insta stories? Will you pre-record your lives and just pop them into the group? There's lots of different ways that you can do it so that you feel confident. And that's the other part that I want you guys to have. It's like this clarity and confidence, because I feel like you've already done the courage part. You've all done the courage part because you've shown up here and you've been doing so awesome, creating all the things that you have, and also tuning into the people who you want to serve and how you can help them. That's really what you have to just keep coming back to so that you've got clarity around it. Now, as far as what's happening next, I wanted to talk to you guys about where you can take this, because this isn't the only part that I want to focus on. It's not just about your Facebook challenge. It's about really helping you step into that next part of your business and your life so that you're continually getting your clarity and your confidence and your courage to move forward. Okay, so Sam says, such a great challenge, lots of clarity around how to launch your own challenge and a big nudge from the universe to change your niche and own it. And your past, stop the fallout from being shamed over mental health. Oh, totally, Sam. And I feel that. And it's like, because you're doing the brave thing, I'm getting goosebumps, because you're doing this brave thing, there's going to be so many women that finally feel permission to do the same. This is the beauty of it. It's like you've finally found that little crack that's opening up and there's gold in there, right? And these other women are now going, oh my gosh, I have a crack too. There's gold in me. And another one and another one and another one. And the space that you will hold for them is so special and it's very sacred. It's like this, the process you will step them through. It's not just marketing. There's like that psychological and energetic container that they feel safe. And anybody who has a traumatic background, obviously safety is a big deal. So if you can provide that for them, Sam, like it's going to be so beautiful. So well done. Well done. It's so awesome. I love seeing this. And Beck, you said prior to this, everyone had been saying to do a challenge, blah, 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 but it never had any, you didn't have any idea how to do it, and now you're confident you could smash it. Of course you could, and you even came in and did your first video, which I'm so stoked to see. It was amazing, by the way. All right, Courtney, so it was just what you needed, a clear step-by-step instruction. You've got loads of ideas. Awesome. You're fine doing lives and creating content, but you didn't have the structure, so it's been perfect. Awesome. You're so grateful you can take this and apply to many other challenges and marketing ideas. Oh, so good. Awesome. That's exactly what my intention was for creating this, is that you guys get so much value out of it that you could literally just like take that structure and run with it and then keep reapplying it to whatever your offer might be. This can be used, as I said yesterday, it can be used for attracting one-on-one clients, for promoting a package, for promoting a product, for promoting a program, for getting people into a membership. There's so many different variables that you might be focusing on at any one time. And it's just like, plan out, like get your calendar out. I haven't got it right next to me right now, but I went to Kmart and I've got like this, it's like a tear off sheet. And it's a blank calendar. And I just write all the calendar days in per month. And then I can plan things out on it. Does anyone else do that? I find that's really helpful, because if you're planning out content for a launch or for a Facebook challenge, for example, well, then that is a really good way to be able to structure it out. So you know exactly what you're doing each day. You're not overcomplicating it. You're keeping it really simple for yourself. And guess what? When you're keeping it simple for you, your people find it simple and everybody wins. When we overcomplicate it in our heads, it's like it can turn into overwhelm stations, and then nothing really comes across the way you want it to. So I highly recommend that method of getting the calendar out and planning things out, and utilizing that. Every time you think of an idea to launch, you just plan it into your calendar. And the other thing is, it's like, just make it not a big deal. Like I said yesterday, often you can use these things as a way of improving. So see it as an experiment, hold it lightly, play with it, like see what your people are saying. Definitely ask them for what they're wanting and try and give that to them. But also you're going to give them that gold that you know they need. It's like, lead with the thing that they want, give them the thing that they need. It's always the way to do it. And then they all leave feeling so good about themselves that they've stepped so many steps forward. A bit like you guys. It's like, I heard about how good Facebook challenges were, but I didn't know the structure in order how to hold it. And it's like, well, now you do. So how good's that? And you feel confident, and you know how to show up, and you know how to plan your content. You know what type of content to put into it. This type of info is gold for you guys. Oh, awesome. You've got your Leaders in Heels planner. Yay, Courtney. That's awesome. Yeah, you can definitely use the same principle across your business. You've got your product range. Yeah, I think I remember chatting to you last year about that product range, Beck. Is that the one for kids? From memory, if my memory serves me correctly. Definitely you can do it for products as well. And so you just got to, again, come back to the beginning, who you are, what you're doing, how you're helping them. Keep stepping through that process. And really, it's the best thing. It's like, once you learn this process, you can apply it and keep reapplying it. And so, Rach, how's it going for you? Would love to hear. Have you found more confidence doing this Facebook challenge, Rach? I'd love to know. I know that you love plans and you love structure, and you kind of inspired me to make sure that I had the structure here. And it's like, thank goodness for super mode, and making sure that I just plan this stuff out when I'm in super mode. So it's really, really handy, really handy. Now for you guys, I want to let you know, like, what's the possible next steps that you guys could step into, because it's all well and good to run your Facebook challenge, but what happens after that? Do you guys have any ideas about what you're going to do after you run your Facebook challenge? I'd love to hear what you're currently thinking about, what your plans are, and are you feeling as confident about the pre, the during, and the post? Like, we're now going to talk about, like, what happens afterwards. What are you doing after your Facebook challenge? Because it's one thing to show up daily and have that energy to portray to your audience and to make sure that they're getting value and to make sure that they're engaging. It takes a lot of energy, particularly if you're an introvert. It takes a lot of energy. I'm probably an extroverted introvert, or I'm an introverted extrovert, one of those like ambivert people. So I can turn it on, but I definitely need to rest afterwards. So yeah, I'd love to know. Rach, you've gotten so much out of this and you love how I've broken it down into doable steps. It's certainly not overwhelming anymore. Yay! That's really cool. So Beck, your idea is to lead them into a 12-week health and wellness package. Awesome. And so do you already have that mapped out? Do you already have people moving through that package? Do you already see them one-on-one and then suggest that to them? Or is this going to be more so a group thing? I'd love to know that. It's a little noisy in the background. My cleaner's here this morning, so she's just about finished. She's doing the vacuuming. Just in case you guys are like, oh, you got some power tools happening today. No, just life, you know. Okay, so Courtney, you still need to create your next steps. Could definitely put together a package or program, but would want that finalized before the launch of the challenge. Yeah, and now you feel like there's a good lead in for your next step. That's perfect. And, you know, sometimes you don't know what you want until you've run the challenge once. It's like, do the challenge once, invite them in for just say one-on-one consults, or just a consult package. That could be your package that you do first, Courtney. And then once you find out more about what they're needing, then you can create the program for what they need. I'm a big fan of making sure that you give them what they're asking for, validating your ideas first. Every single program, apart from one that failed miserably for mine, but every single program, I always do a pre-sale first to make sure that that idea is something that people want. I'm constantly thinking about different ideas and putting offers out there. And if there are people who are like, yes, I want that, then I create the program. So don't do it the other way around. Please learn from my mistakes that if you create the program first, but you haven't validated it to find out that your people actually really want to buy that, or it's in that format or whatever, insert here what people want. You've got to make sure that you're putting it in the format that they want. So for example, one of my one-on-one clients who I've been working with for a while, she used to do workshops and one-on-one. And that's all she did when she first started working with me. And then when I looked at how successful her workshops were, we really worked on getting more people into her clinic, because that was her goal to begin with. She just wanted to go from her 8 or 10 clients a week, and she wanted to see closer to 20. And I'm like, cool, let's do that. Let's launch more of your workshops, get them booked out. Within a month, she went from having like 15 or 16 people in her workshops to having over 40, to the point where she couldn't allow any more people in the room. This is pre-COVID, by the way. And from that, she converted 50% of her audience. So she all of a sudden went, boom, here's 20 new clients. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, okay, so what are you doing once they're in there? And she's like, oh, I kind of stepped them all through a really similar thing. And I went, okay, so we need to document what you're doing now, and we can create a program, because these people already know that you have what they need, and it's about really helping step them through. And when you've got a program that you know that works, you're basically selling your transformation. It's like you're taking that person from this point and helping, your program is the bridge that takes them over to this point. And so you can do that just through a package. If you know that you've got a really awesome package that steps people through 3 consults and a hair test or something like that, you know, that really helps them, perfect, do it that way. But this particular client of mine, she definitely needed a program because she had such a bulk amount of people. She needed to be able to put them into a group. She then had them, some were paying payment plans, some paid up front. So she had a bulk amount of cash flow come into her account instantly. So this is the bonus of running programs. You don't have to then feel like you're running in survival mode, waiting for the next client. You do the launch, you convert your people in, and you have a really awesome program that you already know works, and you step them through it. Now, where she's at now, she's run that a few times, and now she wants to have a DIY version, a mini version, a DIY, and then a VIP version. And that's because she's really refined exactly what these people want. And so see how that process has gone from over here when we first started working together, and she's doing like gaining about $3,000 a month through her clinic. And then it went up to $12,000 a month really fast. And now she's building it up to be 20 plus per month, 20K plus per month. And it doesn't have to be a hard thing. This was just a process that she stepped over about a 12-month period. So you don't have to rush yourself through this process. It's about that data collection, figuring out what your people want, and then delivering that to them in a really easy way. So take it easy, take your ideas, again, offer them out to your audience. If they're keen for it, that's the perfect time to create your package, create your program. Does this make sense? Let me know. Let me know. Next problem, how do I write the program? Perfect question, Beck. Perfect question. And Sam, you're planning to bring them into your Vitality package, which you already have, but now you've been inspired to sparkle it up. Fantastic. I'm so excited for you, Sam. And they're going to really, really enjoy that because you'll connect with them so much in your Facebook challenge, won't you? And you'll be able to step them through that process. So keep thinking about those outcomes that they're going to have. Like, are you going to call it the Sparkle package? Because I think that's a pretty cool name. What are they going from and what are they going to? Like, have a think about that. What will you name your program? It doesn't always have to be a like super duper pun filled name unless that's your style, you know? So come up with like a really plain name first, and then I will often go and like take the verb or the adjective that I'm wanting to, the outcome for them to achieve, and I put it into the thesaurus online and I try and find some other words to describe it, because sometimes we can't think of the words that we want to describe the thing. So just look through a thesaurus. I'm constantly trying to find like a different vocab, or, you know, how else could I describe that? Or go and have a look. I think we do plenty of research. It's like, do some more research into the linguistic side of it. It's actually quite fun. All right, cool. That's good. Beck, Sam, Courtney. All right. So I want to let you guys all know that I'm just about to, the Sparkle package. You've been using the word sparkle so much, another sign. Awesome, Sam. And just like a couple of days ago when I was talking about soul modes, I wonder if you really resonate with Sparkle mode. If you haven't watched that, go back and have a listen. I'll also put the link in for more info about soul modes as well. I did a podcast with the lady who came up with it, Carly Marie. So I'll pop that into the group so you guys can have a listen on it, like a bit of a deeper level, so you can understand it a little bit more. But just telling you guys as well, like, this can be a process for you. Like I sort of said about my client, how she sort of stepped up through workshops and one-on-one into programs and packages, and now into like some really decent income, moving into a higher end of her package. It doesn't all have to happen at once. So where you're up to is exactly the perfect space. So don't compare yourself to anybody else who's doing things in the profession. Like, I really want you to feel good with where you're at, because you've just come through this Facebook challenge and now you've got this newfound action energy with you. So I want you to feel like you're ready to put that in place. So if the next best step for you is to ask your audience, what are they wanting or what you're thinking about, then perfect. Start there. That's your next inspired action. But if your particular next step is to write the thing, remember what I said. Make sure that you ask them, you're still going to put your own spin on things and give them what they need, but you're going to, in order for it to be really, really solid and to sell in the way you want it to, the message that gets to your people needs to be in their language. So that's why it's really important to do this data collection and make sure you're speaking to them in their language. Does this all make sense? I would love to know. Now, so you guys know, I am about to invite 10 women into a group to take them through this launch, how to create their package, how to market their package, and how to launch it in a really successful way that's ease-filled. I am all about ease, and I'm all about keeping it not complicated, because a lot of the time this marketing and promotion and having to show up in all the places and do all the different posts and do all the things can be really, really overwhelming for people. So I want to make sure that wherever you're at, that you have the space to be able to step into and have the support of a group, but also myself. So in order to write your program successfully, launch your program successfully, often you need the tips and the tricks and the fast track of somebody who can mentor you. Now, this is my zone of genius. I've been doing it for quite a few years now. I've helped people move from, as you heard, like $3,000 to $12,000 a month really quite quickly, particularly when your niche is ready for it. So if you're ready and you feel like you've got a niche and you've got a website and you've got some social media happening and you feel ready to be courageous, just get in contact with me. We can jump on a quick call just to see if you qualify, because basically I want to make sure that you're right for me and I'm right for you. It is a 4-month process. I would love to be able to do it in one go, but as you saw, like, we just developed a Facebook challenge structure in 5 days, and it's been a lot. Like, I know you guys have been showing up really, really powerfully. So what if each month you were able to create your modules? What if each month you were able to create the marketing that was in alignment with those modules? So people are being taken on this journey with you. So it's really, really obvious once you launch it to your market that they go, that's the thing that I need. So I'm huge on selling without selling. So making sure that your content, it does the selling for you and it's very, very easy for you. So I will start enrolling people into this in the next couple of weeks. So if you'd like to jump on a call with me, I've got some time over the next few days and I would love to chat with you. Even if you just want to like riff out on some ideas, there's absolutely no strings attached. And I just want to make sure that we're both qualified for each other to make sure that it's the next right step for you. All right, cool, Sam. I will definitely. The overwhelms next to your definition. Oh, okay, Beck. Well, I think that we should have another chat as well, because this particular process that I'm going to step you on, as you guys have loved all the strategy, like, I've also got this other part that I haven't even touched upon really in this particular video. Because I see it as like there's 50-50, and I've talked about this a few times, so it depends on if you've seen me on socials lately, but one side is definitely the strategy and showing the action and doing all of the things. And then there's this other part that I really love to focus on as well, and when you're in the right modes for it, and I'll teach you how to do this, it's the beautiful non-tangible part. It's the manifestation part. It's the you getting in alignment with you and getting in alignment with your purpose and with your higher self, so that you can show up so authentically for your people and also for yourself, so it actually feels good. Like, you feel like you're on purpose when you're showing up for your audience. So there's these two beautiful parts that beautifully meld together. I haven't seen anybody else in our profession who does it this way, but I'm really, really keen to share it with you guys, because I bring in the soul modes. Once you know that, it is like a absolute key and lock, and it just unravels a whole bunch of stuff for you in a magical way. And then also being able to step in with action and know that that action is going to do something, because there's nothing worse than showing up on social media and crickets. I've definitely been there. And so being able to speak with you one-on-one, being able to access what is happening in behind the scenes and help you through that. This is this other area over here, because sometimes we've got an elephant in the room and we can't necessarily see our own. So I actually can help you through that process so that the action becomes so smooth and effortless. So that's my goal for you guys. That's the goal of the group. I am calling it Launch. It's literally going to be called Launch, because you're going to be launching something, package, program, and you're going to be doing it with ease. So if that feels right for you, I want it to feel right in your heart, because it feels right in my heart, and I know that the right people, it will speak to you. So just get in contact with me, or leave a message below and I'll get in contact with you and we can book a time and we can go from there. And Thank you, Rach. Rach is one of my one-on-one VIPs and she loves the 2 parts of my mentoring, she's saying. So thank you, Rach, for the feedback. It's always great, isn't it? It's like some days we think we need one thing when in fact we need the other side, and it helps bring us back into this balanced place and more in alignment. So sometimes we need that help from the outside in order to review things, you know, and help connect the dots again. All right, so dun 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 dun. Thank you all so much for all of your engagement and your posts and showing up and doing your homework. I'm just finding the person who it is. Oh, the winner is Beck. Beck, are you still online? You would love a call too. All right, cool. Awesome. Yay. Beck, I am going to invite you. What I need you to do, Beck, is down the bottom of the screen, can you request to come on the screen? That was chosen at random. I had the names just next to me over here. Let's see. On your screen, can you... Let me see if I can... It's not letting me add you. The only person that's going to let me add is Rach. So allow the viewers to request to join you. So at the bottom, can you request to join, please, Beck? And I'll bring you on screen. And we're going to do this. So have you figured that out? How the heck do I do that? So down the very bottom, are you on your phone or your computer? Because I think you need to be on your phone. Hi, Mel. You're catching us right at the end. Good to see you. I saw somebody else popped on too. I think it was Kai. Haven't seen you, Kai, for a while. How you going? Beck, are you on your phone? Dun, 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 dun. I know Mel. Let's see. Oh, okay, cool. So because you're on your computer. That would be why. All right, cool. I'll wait for you to hop onto your phone. That's no problem at all. We're not in a rush. Anybody who is wanting to see how things happen in this hot seat situation, stay on, because it's really, really fun. It's fun to see how I do this. So here we go. We're bringing. Just connecting. Yay! Hi, Beck.
Hi. Running outside. I've got my family inside. Oh gosh, now I've got work dogs outside, so that's all right. If I can hear, you won't hear the screaming baby. There we go. I don't know if you can see me because I can't really see much on here.
Well, congratulations.
But have you got like, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes.
Yeah, I can hear you and I can see you. I can just see the very top of my forehead. That's all I can see. I'm like, oh, can they actually see me, or is it my forehead?
I can
okay,
see
I'm gonna.
online.
If I pop it down, yeah, there we go. If I pop him down on my elephant, my little oil burner, there we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Great. Hey, well, first of all, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Well done. You're the winner of the prize. So the way that this hot seat works is I'm going to talk to you about anything that you want to talk about in your business right now. What comes to mind? What's your first thing that comes to mind?
That would be trying to get my shit out there. I've got mainly myself. Like, I love the one-on-one like consulting. I do love it, but I've got all my other stuff, and I'm trying to get those one-on-one clients to all go into packages and not just come in for one appointment, because that to me does a disservice to our industry. It does a disservice to the client, because, you know, oh, I've seen a naturopath once and they did nothing. You've seen a naturopath once. Like, that's the problem, I mean. So I want people to upfront commit to a 3-month package at least, a minimum 3-month package. Yeah, but trying to do that.
Cool.
is, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
somebody.
And so have you started
I have
already?
Yeah. So I've got a few people on them and that, which is good. But I want to, if I can offer.
Awesome.
Like not pre-done packages, but have more of a structure to them, so that I don't have to sit there every time and go, oh my gosh, here I go again. Do I mean have more of that structure? So I'm okay, yeah, they're on a, you know, they're here for anxiety, they're here for, you know, because predominantly I still like to work with children and mental health. So, you know, there's going to be one for, like, you know, parasites, and there's, you know, there's always the anxious kid, there's the autistic kid, that, you know, yeah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So one of the best things that I ever did was the info that I'm consistently saying in clinic to my one-on-ones.
Yep.
I do up mini videos. And so the consult time that you spend with them drastically reduces, because the education stuff that you talk about all the time on repeat, it's like, oh my gosh, if I have to tell another woman about what cervical mucus looks like, you know, it's like, all right, that's it. I'm just going to like do this video about it. And then I just send that through to them, and I'm like, oh, I'll give you the document that you need to start filling in, and I'll give you the video. So you watch the video, and then you'll know what to look for and how it all works. And so same goes for you. You're like, okay, so here's the main points that you want to talk about if they're anxious, for example. And here's the things they need to do for coping mechanisms, or for helping to calm them down at the start of the day, or whatever it is that you say consistently. Because obviously lifestyle stuff, it takes time to take effect with some of these people, doesn't it? And some of them are so overwhelmed that they don't know where to start. And so that's where these videos can come in so handy, and you just have them saved and you can shoot them through. Now, how to do that? Literally record it on your phone or your computer. And that info becomes part of your program. So you're essentially creating a program on the go at the moment. And because you already know that this is the info that all of these people are needing, just do your most common things first, like say create 5-minute videos. And then if you know that these people are going to be seeing you consistently for 3 months, you drip feed those videos out to them over those 3 months.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Makes sense. Because I find the other thing is when you've got them coming in and they don't understand the process, they're not understanding the process and the structure, then it's up to us to set it up so it's really clear. So you just go, all right, so you've got anxiety. Okay, so these are the things that we're going to go through first. And in a couple of weeks, you're going to come back and this is the next step after that. I'm just going to leave it at that. And then once you come in and you've completed all of that stuff, then we'll move to step 3. How does that sound? And just make it on board at every stage. But really for you, it's going to be about like really utilizing your super mode and be like, all right, so this is what I would cover then, and this is what I would cover then, and this is what I would cover then. And again, that's what you're doing one-on-one, which eventually can be, because you know that you've got the transformation process happening and it's working, that therefore becomes your program.
Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah? Perfect.
How's that feel? Yeah. So there's lots of different, depending on how perfect you want it to look as well. Like you could record a screen capture on your computer with a full PowerPoint. Some naturopaths love to do it that way.
Yeah,
I literally just record myself.
I think, Amy, because the people that I generally attract, like we live on a farm, we're pretty down to earth people. That's generally who I try to attract. Life's not perfect. People aren't perfect. And I hate it when you, and it's not anything against those that are perfectionists that like to be like that. But I like that. So yeah, I have fun. Not you guys, husband's gone to feed some sheep. It's I connect better when they see that raw side of things, do you know what I mean? Because they relate to me then and go, oh, you know, Beck is actually a person as well. She's not, you know, yeah. So I've got no issues. I don't have any issues with, you know, the blunders and the bloopers and everything in between them, because it makes it a bit real, you know. It's,
Absolutely. I agree. And that's the whole point of practicing it, right? It's like some days oh my gosh, it's like I can't quite get my words out, and it's just like, oh well, they're gonna forgive me for that. Fine. And that's really good, because often we stand behind that perfectionism to want to try and get it right before we put things out there. So it seems like you're already over that hurdle.
No, getting everything right doesn't bother me too much at all. Like I'm not overly fussed by that, unless it's like in that initial sort of thing. I think that's important. Do you know what I mean? Like that video that I put up before, which I did at like 7:30 in the morning this morning. My feet were freezing, so I couldn't find my shoes. So I was standing on wet, frozen grass, and I was like, oh, my teeth weren't settled, and I was like, oh, this is a nightmare. But so something like that, I would like that to be a little bit more refined, because that's me trying to get out there. Do you know what I mean? But once but you got people in there, I think it's nice to see the real you in there, sort of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And have those different shots, like what is it in your life that they're going to be relating to? Because like you said, is it about farm life? Like, could you do a quick video while you're with the sheep, or could you do a quick video while the kids are running around near you? Or, you know, like they're going to relate to that stuff. And so again, we don't need to overcomplicate it. We don't always need to be in the same frame in our clinic rooms, like looking all clinical. It's like we need to show we are human, so they can relate to that aspect of us that we think, oh, that's not relevant.
One of my most engaging posts that I had, Amy, was I was sitting on my front lawn and we bottle feed calves at calving time, like just little ones that have been orphaned, and this bloody calf came over and like licked right, and I was like sitting there going that, but it was one of the most engaging posts. It was so gross because I had this big thing of cow slobber, and I'm like, really? Like I could feel the calf was there, but I didn't actually think it was going to bend down and lick me. And it was one of my most engaging posts. And I was like, that is so feral, but you know, it's not really that feral because we're kind of used to it. But you know, to city people, like, do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, and I'm like, it's cow drool. We'll get over it.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The beauty of that is, if you've had new followers, which no doubt you have since that has come out, you need to recycle that post. Go back to the post and like bring it back to life, or even get a screenshot of your face kind of like
one of those like glorious shots.
Because they will just love that. They'll love it so much. And so I guess the original question that you'd said is, how do you get your stuff out there? And it is about you being consistent. Do you feel like you're being consistent at the moment?
No. It's this week it's good because I've had somebody to hold me accountable. I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm not there, do you know what I mean? Like, and I hate doing things on replay because it never, that's why yesterday I was like, I have to try and like move all my shit around so I can make it to this thing. And I was I think 6 minutes late, but I still managed to get into it. And then I did watch the replay this morning before I like jumped on this, but it's making that time, I think, Amy, do you know what I mean? Like I have to schedule it in to have that time, because on the fly, like my daughter is 19, she's got a newborn baby and that, and I love him to bits, but he is my number one biggest distraction because he'll smile and I'm smitten and I'm gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I just said to Ellie, she handed him to me before, I was like, Ellie, I'm busy, you have to take him because I'm just going to sit here and look at him and, you know, swoon over him. So it's about having that time to say, no, this is when I'll do baby stuff and this is when I'll do work stuff and this is when I'm in clinic, and yeah. So it's my own shit in my own way, Amy. Do you know what I mean? I have to sit there and go, no, I'm not going to be distracted. And I'm just going to, so this year I've started using a planner and planning out my days, which it's working so much better. But up until now, no, I have not been consistent. But yeah, this year I was like, something has to change. And I always say to my clients, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If I want to see a change, I have to make a change. Totally. Do you know what I mean? So I'll kind of take my own advice a little bit now. So. Awesome.
I love it. That is so good. And I feel the same way. And if you've got 20 things on your to-do list, just prioritize 3. And if you get to something more, then great. It's just like, make sure you're doing the hardest thing first. Because if posting to socials does seem hard to begin with, do that first. It's like, wake up, post, then get on with your day because you know that you've fed that little
Yeah,
algorithm.
the planner that I use, Amy, is really good. It actually has a to-do list in it, and then it has above the to-do list, it has the priorities, like 1, 2, 3. So I write my to-do list, and then I do put them on my thing, and then I just tick them off. And then if I get through anything more down my to-do list that's not on my priority list, then it is a bonus. Yeah.
That is so good. And it's just helpful to get your intention for the day set up, isn't it? Because you know that some days it's not going to be a work day, it's going to be more baby day, and that's totally fine because you want to find that balance. But setting that intention of where your energy is going to go.
Yeah.
And that
was it you, Amy, that asked if you're a night owl or a morning person? Was that you? Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm both. Because it is honestly like that. I went to bed last night and I had everything written down. I got up this morning and it was done by 8 o'clock because I had all these things last night, and then I woke up this morning and I was like, woohoo, off I go. I knew what I needed to do, and yeah.
That is perfect. And you're probably utilizing your soul modes without even realizing it. You probably, sounds like you wake or you might wake up wild, and so you're literally utilizing your super before you go to bed to write that list, and then probably sleeping through your sparkle, waking up in wild, boom, gets actioned, you feel really good, and then you can just rest. It's like, well, whatever happens today is a bonus.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty much what happens.
Really awesome. Yeah, well done. And so what would it be like if you were more consistent on your socials and you knew, like, you'd planned it out and you knew what you were doing?
I honestly, if I was more consistent, my business would be more consistent. Yeah, I do not doubt that for a second. Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. Yeah.
And have you set some goals this year?
I have got my business goals set out for the year. Yeah. Am I reaching them? No, not yet. But I will. It's one step at a time, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's because I do get overwhelmed with all these great ideas, and then I go, oh my gosh, I've got so much I want to do, and it all becomes overwhelming. I'm like, ah, shit, I didn't get that done. So then you don't do anything else because I'm just like boggled down in all these ideas, and then nothing gets done. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so just always coming back to what was it that was my priority for today? Because if you keep putting those priorities each day, step by step, you're going this way. It's maybe not linear, but you know, you're heading upwards compared to getting overwhelmed and not knowing where you're up to, or, you know, all of a sudden having a free day, but you're like, oh, should I work? Should I be free? It's like, if you've already set your intention for the day, you know exactly where you're up to, and you're
and if I do my to-do list, my goals will actually happen. Do you know what I mean? Because in my to-do list every day, I've got something in there that is focused on doing the next step. Do you know what I mean? But I just have to do them.
That's it. And so if you're timing this with the times where you are in action, so say super mode or wild mode, and you're really feeling it, well, then you're going to be most productive in those times. And then the other times you're resting or you're connecting, life becomes really, really balanced for you. So just know that if you're not feeling it at that particular time, come back to it a couple of hours later, because no doubt you'll probably shift through and you'll have more energy. So that's a big thing. I think sometimes we have these grand plans each day, and if we're not in the right mode, we're like, oh no, oh gosh, and I said that I was going to do that, but I'm really not feeling it. And it's okay. Like, it's actually okay to leave it till later. So long as you do come back to it. It's not put away forever.
Perfect.
Yeah. And so that system sounds like it works for you. So that's perfect. And I guess the next step, once you're stepping through with your intentions and plans, is to get some systems set up in the background that work for you. So like I sort of said at the beginning, like getting that system set up that you could put somebody through your anxiety education series or their ADHD series or something like that. That's going to be really helpful for working for you in the background. So you're not having to think about, oh, I haven't sent that email to that person, or they're up to that week and I have to remember to go and do that. It's like, you can get these systems set up in the background that work for you.
Yeah.
And it's a really awesome feeling to go, oh, my business is working for me and I don't have to be in every single pie all the time, because that's where the overwhelm can come from as
and
well.
setting up automations on that too, Amy. That's something that I'm not familiar enough with to know how to. I could work it out, I'm sure, but sometimes it's easier to have somebody say, "Hey, this is how you do it," because honestly, it's going to be going.
Totally.
Because stuff like that it would make my life so much easier if I didn't have to sit there. Oh gosh, they're on week 3 and I haven't sent it out, and yeah. If it's automated, when I put them into, because I use Simple Clinic as well, and I know that they've got that coming in, like their program function and that is coming in, but so that will automate all that anyway. But I just have to know how to do that, I guess. Yeah. We don't know what we don't know.
Totally. Absolutely, I agree. And so I would highly suggest getting some of those recorded now, so that as soon as they've got those modules ready to put in, you can just pop it straight in and start those automated systems in the background, and you were just going to be like, yes, so on top of life. So I think that's going to be a lifesaver for you, to be able to get all of that information out of here and to have those automations in there, because it's less for you to have to juggle your mind capacity for.
Yeah.
And you are an ideas, so it's like we want to have that space for you to be creative and to think up new ideas and to be able to show the action on those new ideas as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how does that feel for ideas of next steps, and how are you feeling confidence?
Yeah, I'm confident. I know my stuff, but it's trying to break that down. And because I am so much an oversharer, like they walk out and I'm like gives them enough? Like, have I not given them enough? But I overshare everything. And when I first started, I'm sure we're all guilty of it. And we were told never to do it in uni. Like, do not overwhelm them. And I'm sure every one of us has gone, I've got to tell them everything. I'm beyond that now, but I still know that I overshare. Do you know what I mean? I need to put a system in place so that this is what they get. And do you know what I mean? And break that down into their bite-sized chunk. And it makes what I do so much easier then too. Instead of going, oh God, I've given them 100 different things over here and I have to follow up every one of them. Do you know what I mean? And then I've got to give them more to go. And It's like, if I just focus on one thing at a time, keep it simple, stupid. But I'm not so amazing at doing that. I have to learn how to do that.
Yeah, and I think the big allow yourself to feel okay that you're giving them enough just with some simple tips. I think I've been where you are. It's just like, oh, here's all the information.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what it's like, because you don't want people to go, oh, I paid all this money and I got nothing out of it. But I think sometimes they go, oh, they paid all this information and they don't know what to do with it. I've given them too much and they don't actually know. Like, even though I've told them what to do, they're still stuck on, they heard what I said in part D, but they didn't actually hear what I said in part A because I've overwhelmed them. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. So like those education videos, it would be so cool then for them to be able to come back. Like, you just give them that little piece of homework. It's kind of like the Facebook challenge structure, you give them that little piece of homework. Like, okay, anxiety lady, you do listen to this. Then I need you to do 3 minutes of breathing and report back to me how you felt.
Easy. Yeah.
Simple. Keep it so simple. I mean, some people I've helped with anxiety and I'm like, they get overwhelmed downloading Insight Timer. And I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need them to like put it on and look at a tree. Okay. That's simple. So sometimes we've got to really like bring it back.
Yeah.
So continuously asking questions and like, is this too much? Is this going to overwhelm you? It's going to be really helpful for you to just like put a lid on. Even though you want to give them this much, you like put a little lid on it, and that's going to be that perfect size. It's like, you don't need to give them an American sized plate of food. You can just give them like, that perfect like chia pod size. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that that's probably like the clincher for you then, Beck, is to get started on some of that stuff, and then as soon as Simple Clinic has that module ready, you'll be able to implement it right away, and then you've got so much ammo for your 12-week program.
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Cool. Did you have any other questions for me?
Nope, you put me on the spot. Completely threw me under it. I was like, oh shit. I'm sure I'll give you another.
That's
oh
right.
My God, I should have asked her this.
If anything else pops into your head, feel free to jump in. And yeah, I think that this has been super valuable for others who are listening too, because no doubt what you're going through, somebody else who's listening in on this is going through it too. So thank you for stepping up into the hot seat today, Beck. It's been awesome. And thank you for showing up every day and, you know, really prioritizing getting your structure and your homework done. Because I just know all of these women are going to get so much.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. And they will. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that. I'm confident of that. But the more you show up, and even like yesterday, I had a lady. I work with a disability mob in Victoria, online, doing online like nutrition sort of work with NDIS clients. Haven't heard boo from them for months. And out of the blue, here I am working away on my business yesterday, and I get a message, oh, Beck, we've got a client for you. And I was like, oh my God, where did they even come from? But I was like, because I put the intention out there that I need to fill my own cup, but I need this to work now. What can I do to do that? And, you know, yeah. So the more you do, the more you get.
It's so true. Yeah. And it's really bringing that like peripheral vision that we think we need to like focus all the way out here. And it's bringing that focus back to here. And that's exactly it. And therefore that person's like, oh, that's what I need. I'm just going to pop myself in there now. And it just works so nicely. And so if they're your ideal clients as well, because I know with NDIS, you have to come up with a plan and like let them know how long and all of that. So could be handy for that situation, utilizing this same simplistic model.
Yeah.
For you.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
So good. Well, great to chat
so much, Amy.
Thank you so much. And wishing you an awesome day. And thank you all very much, everybody else who has shown up for this challenge. It's been so much fun. I love this. I love chatting about this, and I love unraveling things with practitioners so that you can all just see what that next right step is for you. All right, everyone, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a great day, and I will speak with you all very soon.
Thanks so much.